Surprise, surprise, we're kicking off today's news with an update on the movie adaptation, The Life of Chuck by Stephen King. So The Life of Chuck is actually a short story from the, what do you call those books that have short stories in? I should know this. It's actually part of It Bleeds. So it's 3 separate stories that all link to tell the biography of the main character, which is Charles Krantz. And these are all told in reverse, starting with his death and then ending with his childhood. It's being directed by Mike Flanagan, who, there's gonna come a stage where he'll have directed probably every book adaptation of Stephen King's work. I'm sure we'll get into other stuff that he has done or is doing, but he is most well known, in my eyes anyway, from Doctor Sleep, which is the second kind of installment to The Shining, and Gerald's Game. This is just a quick little update, but The Life of Chuck was apparently a surprise winner of the Toronto Film Festival Audience Award. What a mouthful, honestly. And usually winners of this award go on to potentially win Oscars. This movie actually has quite a star-studded cast, and I'm really excited to see it. There have been many disappointing adaptations of Stephen King's work, so we'll see. But I am a fan of Tom Hiddleston, so could be good. For anyone wanting to see the movie and thinking they're gonna get like blood and gore and like so much horror, it's actually not a horror. It's a story on human mortality, and it's a little bit more lighthearted than a lot of Stephen King's other work. So if you're not really into horror, then I think hopefully you'd enjoy it. I enjoyed the short stories, but let's see what the film brings. As of yet, I have not seen a release date, but by the time this comes out, there might be one. So if there is, I'll keep you updated. I'm excited to see what Mike Flanagan has to offer us next. Bookshop.org has launched a new book buyback scheme to rival that of Amazon's, and this is in an attempt to help indie bookshops. So the scheme's called Book Loop, and you can access this by going through the bookshop.org.uk website. According to Nicole Vanderbilt, managing director of bookshop.org.uk, their entire approach to book selling revolves around providing readers with a more ethical alternative to Amazon. This is actually a very similar scheme to something we have here in WH Smith's in the UK, where they buy your unwanted books, but they resell them through Amazon-owned retailers. In an age of e-commerce book buying, the Book Loop is here to support small businesses around the country and to be less wasteful and more ethical. Apparently, Amazon dominate the resale book market, and this has led to a huge impact on small bookshop owners. Having recently reorganized my own bookshelves, I had a whole stack to resell or give away. So I thought what I'd do is try the website and just see how easy it is to use. This website is easy enough to access both on your laptop or on your phone, and you can scan the title, input the ISBN, and it will find your book for you. There are some titles it doesn't accept, and this can be due to having too many of the same book already, or the value is just too low that they wouldn't make a profit, and so they're not able to resell it. Once you've scanned your books, you'll then get a voucher to spend on their website, and this will help to support indie bookshops. And I believe after that, you drop them in like a PDP locker for collection. I'm not sure what they have elsewhere, but here in the UK we have PDP. The only thing I will say is I scanned over 20 books and it accepted 4. And to be eligible for a voucher, the minimum you need to have submitted is £5 worth. The books that buy from me only came to £4.29, so in the end I wasn't even able to use this service. Okay, so not quite a success for me, but that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be a success for other people. I think it's a great step forward in managing the resale of secondhand books and helping small businesses. I just wish there wasn't a cap on it at all. Personally, I'd take £4 off a new book than nothing. Even though that would be worth it for me, it obviously isn't worth it for them. So I completely understand. It's that time again where Hollywood wants to reimagine and reboot the same old movie over and over again. And Harry Potter is next on the list. It's now being made into a TV show for HBO, and just recently a casting call was posted all over social media. So I thought, let's take a look at it. So it's actually a UK open casting call, and they're casting for children to play the roles of Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley. What I do find interesting, however, is there's a little bit down the bottom here. Let me just read it to you. We are committed to inclusive, diverse casting. For every role, please submit qualified performers without regard to ethnicity, disability, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, or any other basis protected by law unless otherwise specifically indicated. So perhaps J.K. Rowling isn't part of this project or has very little input in the outcome. She probably just took the money and ran. Now, do you think the Harry Potter TV show is destined to be doomed from the start? I know many of the original cast have kind of distanced themselves from the franchise, and they've spoken out about J.K. Rowling's what I consider to be hate speech online. Do you feel sorry for the kids though in this remake? Not only will they be blissfully unaware of the controversies of the author, but will they ever live up to the character imaginings that every millennial had growing up reading the books? Okay, our last and final story today. This is just a little short video. I just wanted to kind of talk about some exciting things that are happening in the world of books, any controversies, any drama. But for you ACOTAR fans out there, this one's for you. Also, for anyone who doesn't know what the acronym ACOTAR is, it's a court of thorns and roses. It's just easier to say ACOTAR. Could Margot Robbie be the driving force behind the long-awaited TV adaptation of ACOTAR? No one really knows. But there has been a lot of speculation recently, especially as Margot Robbie is a self-proclaimed fangirl of the series. That doesn't surprise me, she kind of gives me that ACOTAR vibes. Many fans have been speculating that Margot might be taking up the reins after fans spotted her and Sarah J Maas out for a coffee. It was revealed in 2021 that Hulu would be making a series based on the books, and this is to be directed by Ron D. Moore, who you might know as directing Outlander. I've never seen it, but I've heard good things. However, it was recently revealed that Moore is no longer working on the project, which means the status of the series is unknown. When interviewed by Bizarre magazine, Margot Robbie is quoted as saying, "I'll see what I can do." With the series gaining a cult-like following on platforms like TikTok, do you think a TV series would satisfy the fans? Or do you think it would just be another disappointing reimagining?